It ain't on.
My fault. It's
Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank you, Toucan. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WillPower UnSurfaced. It's your host, Khadijah Sams, and I am back, guys. How is everyone doing out there in social media land? I'm supposed to have a guest today. He was announcing something on my show, so I'm hoping that he shows up. I haven't talked to him, but EA is here with me today. So, you know, me and EA, we always vibe when he comes on. So he's going to be on today. So he invited me to go and speak with him tomorrow at a high school. So I'm excited. And I know EA is going to kill it. So I'm excited to be there with him and do this for the youngins, because it's all about the youth. It's all about the youth. And, you know, with so much going on in our community, in Philadelphia right now, it's really, really sad what's going on in our community. You know what I mean? So sad. And it starts with the youth, because it's the children, it's the high school children. You know what I mean? It's in school, outside of school. These are the places where a lot of these shootings are taking place. And it's important for us as adults to realize that we are the village.
Check.
What? Is yours on? Mine was off.
Mine's ain't on too. There you go.
There you go.
You know my voice big. Go ahead.
So, you know what I mean? It's up to us, because we are a part of that village. You know, we are a part of that village, whether we want to accept that or not. And us as adults in this neighborhood, I mean, in Philadelphia, and as people who are out here trying to do more in the community, it's up to us. You know what I mean? It's definitely up to us.
We got to start putting fingers at the law. We got to stop pointing fingers at everybody except us. Point fingers at us. Those same fingers that we were taught that when you point a finger, it's 3 or 4 coming back at you. We need to implement those fingers that come back at us, because knowledge of self is everything. So if we can start with self, we'll have a better world.
Absolutely.
No, honestly. When you come on willpower, like, there's no way in the world that you have to be conscious of what you're talking about. See, on my show, I be ratchet, have fun. We do karaoke. It's about the vibes. But when you come on this show, it's a different element. And every time, when I reached out to you, I said, I need somebody to go with me and I didn't spoke at, oh my goodness, many schools, places. But to have 100 ninth graders,
wow,
I'm excited. And one of the, excuse me for saying this, one of the areas in North Philadelphia where it's frowned upon for the violence.
Yes.
You know, and it's bad. And what's symbolic to me about Volks, which is now in high school, it was a junior high. My mother went to Volks Junior High. Rest in peace.
That's what's up.
So the little stories that I remember about her school,
right?
She used to always say, because the couple questions I did get to ask my mother a couple years before she passed, which she just passed in 2019, was, where was up, Mom? I know I'm from uptown. I've been screaming that, but I lived out west. We lived down north.
Right.
Where was I born at? And she said the 83 or the 8400 block of Fayette. So I was like, wow, I'm really born and raised uptown. You know, it's just because you want to know that.
Absolutely.
Like, when I got into the horoscopes, we was having conversations about horoscopes, and I believe a lot of the information that come from your horoscopes, whether with, you know, and somebody said, well, EA, you could really know if you knew the time you were born.
Right. Absolutely.
I would have to look at my birth certificate, I think, because but I was thinking about it like, dang, my mother will be the only one that
would know that. Yep. They would know that.
That's why, as a mother and everybody that's moms that you tuning in, I want to say salute to all the mothers outside of it being Mother's Day. You are the reason why we exist. We have to take back our streets. And I'm going to give you a little piece of what I'm saying to the kids. Y'all in the 9th grade, honor your mother. If you don't have a mom in your life or a mother figure, reach out to the next feminine person in your family. Your aunt, your grandma, maybe your older cousin. Because we need love as men.
Absolutely.
The young men need love. And they're afraid. I said, me and D, I'm taking a young lady that I know that I can say, this young lady is a man in a woman's body, because she went through the same trials and tribulations as y'all may be thinking that y'all going through, but y'all ain't went through yet. Or maybe your parents, and you may be wanting to put a blame. So let's talk about those that blame their parents.
Yes.
So I need that counterpart, and I know how conscious she is. I'm telling you, out of everybody I've met for the last few years, you and Dawn, I always just say, y'all was just one of the shows that I really love because I learned something from it. It ain't just a bid. I can bid myself. I'm silly.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, 100 Black Men, thank y'all so much for picking me out of everybody. And they said we didn't want a celebrity. We wanted to reverse the psychological.
Exactly.
No, we're not glorifying and making y'all,
Right.
no.
Right.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you for allowing me again.
Absolutely. You know you're always invited. I love when you come on the show with me. Such a good vibe between us. But I'm honored too because, you know, I've been going to, I don't know if you know, but I've been going to those 100 Black Men mentoring sessions on Saturday. Yes.
Yes.
So I've been taking my grandson. And actually, we missed this Saturday because I actually got him into the Urban Youth Racing School.
Okay.
So he's going to do that for 10 weeks, and then after the 10 weeks is up, then we'll jump back on.
Oh, wow.
Because it's at the same time. It's on Saturday morning, and it's from, you know, it's on Saturday.
What do you feel about the program is doing for?
But
what do you
see? Know what I love with the 100 Black Men is, what I really love is that it's just the men and the boys. Because I know people like, oh,
that's true.
The boys, they need the men. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They need the men, and the young man that my grandson is mentoring with, he's the young man that was on the show. That's the one that's going to medical school. And so he's just the bomb, right?
He is.
But just, you know, what I love about it is at the end, you know, when we're all about to go home, it's kind of like everybody gets together, and then they ask the young man, what did they learn that day? And they make them write it down. And they're always so excited to stand up and read what they had, you know, what they learned. And I love that because, first of all, knowledge is power.
Information is powerful. I always disagree with the knowledge. Information, but
absolutely.
Go ahead. To implement it.
But why I say knowledge is power is when you know something,
right,
you can conquer things.
That's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
When you know something. And for our youth, it's like they don't really know who they are. They don't know the stock that they really come from because they only can see what's in front of them right now. You know what I'm saying? So they might hear the stories of the, you know, the slain ones, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but they don't know like beyond that because so much of our history is ingrained in our ancestors was slaves. No, our ancestors were people who were captured and enslaved.
Right.
And it's a difference.
It's a big difference.
It's a difference.
Right.
These were proud people, kings and queens, the mothers and fathers of this earth.
Right.
And you must know where you come from. Because if you don't know that you come from greatness, then you may not think that you can be great. And so many of our youth, they feel hopeless.
Yeah.
They feel hopeless. They don't look at it like they see so much death. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the celebrities, like the young guy that just got killed a couple of weeks ago, Young Dolph, you know what I mean? They seeing it all over, not only just on television, but right in their neighborhoods. You know? My cousin the other day, she was talking about her daughter, her children, and how they're seeing so many of their friends dying.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have too much of that when we was coming up. I think I only can remember. That's true. You know, I can't even really remember so much of someone that died when I was a youth, not by being murdered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
these, like too many. Yeah.
And so with these youth today, they're seeing it. It's like every day, you know, every day. And it's like, it's an everyday thing. And when you see something every day, you become numb to it.
Yeah, you do.
You get numb.
Yeah, you do. Because you're used to it.
Absolutely. So it's like, you know, it's like, it's normal.
Yeah, it is the norm.
And we don't want death and destruction to be normal. We don't want our children to think that's normal.
That's a form of self-genocide.
Absolutely.
You know, self-genocide is real. Even amongst, like, some people used to always say, drug dealers, if you sell drugs, you're contributing to self-genocidal.
Right.
And back when I was a drug dealer, no, that ain't true.
Right.
Until I really stopped selling drugs.
Until you see when you're in it, when you're doing something like that, most people are doing it for survival.
That's true.
Most people are doing it because this is what's accessible to me.
And it's easy.
This is what I'm saying. It's accessible.
But
it's
they should
right
know
here.
now that while we're talking about that topic, but it's not easy now.
Absolutely.
So stop if you can.
Listen,
I don't want to give up what I'm going to talk about tomorrow,
Yes.
but let me just say this.
The game really in so much words is that
Work
that
for
way.
yourself. If you don't want to work for yourself, work for somebody. It's about capital. All you need is capital gain, money. Stop the robberies. That's not getting y'all nowhere.
Nope.
Robbing people, being sly, which means slick. Y'all got to stop that aspect. That'll never get you nowhere. Only thing is going to get you 6 and green or the penitentiary.
Yeah.
6 and green is the grave.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to preach to y'all. We don't preach. We're not preachers. We're here to give you the information
Yeah.
that we experienced.
But I think that if you look at things, if you turn the camera, the lens around a little bit, you have this so much of this negativity going on in the world. But if you look at other things, there's a lot of positivity in the world going on too, especially with social media. It's what you take out of it, because people could say, "Oh, the social media." It's what you're going to do with it. You know what I'm saying? You could take social media and make yourself a millionaire.
I don't blame social media.
Yeah, you can't blame you cannot blame social media for the.
You can't blame an app.
No, you can't.
You can't blame an app.
No.
It's an app. You log into it. You can log off it.
Right.
So if you're saying social media, like people blame social media for breakups. Oh, you on her page, you liking her page. Isn't that what social media is for? To like and engage? Socialize.
Right?
Even if you put hearts up, it's just social media. I mean, I understand they go a little too far.
You can't blame social media for breakups, because people was breaking up and going through these same things before. So
That's true.
It just was like you wasn't gonna find out that fast. That's
And
all.
strangers
You know
become
what I'm
lovers,
saying?
and lovers become strangers.
Absolutely. And that's just the way it
What
is.
goes around comes around.
But you can't blame social media, because us as parents and us as adults, it's our job to let the be that force in the children's life and say, this ain't what life is really like.
Right.
Life ain't really like this. You know, you watching a lot of TV, you playing a lot of video games. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother topic of discussion.
You know what I'm saying? But this ain't this entertainment.
Yeah.
And you have to instill that in them. What's entertainment and what's not.
Let me ask you a question. Hope. Do you think having hope is one of the key states of consciousness in order to survive?
Hope is I don't really like the word hope too much, because it's kind
Why?
of it's like
Pick a better word for like a goal, because hope is a derivative for me, not being the action itself, not the manifestation of it, but it's like a goal. Okay, my goal is to wake up in the morning, go to work, come home. Wake up, make my kids something to eat, go to bed. You know, right. So I hope that I wake up in the morning. I hope that I'm able to look in the refrigerator, and I hope it's food in there. Like, oh, I hope we got some ketchup.
But at the end of the day, you're not hoping for real, because if you're the adult in that house, you won't know if it's some ketchup or not, because you won't know if your ass bought some.
Now, let me say this. The reason why I brought that topic of discussion up. Can you imagine living in a minority area where you don't see nothing but there's nothing that makes you feel that state of gratification, that state of peace, that, you know, all you have is the beer distributor, the beer and the poppy store.
Yeah, and bricks.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
If you live in that same environment for so many years, like you said, you become accustomed to it.
Yeah.
So you have no hope. You have nothing to look forward to.
That's why you have to have people tell you that there is something outside of this. There is something outside of this. Because this is what I learned with children. I used to work at a school who did, they would take the children out of the country, out of the state, out of the area, and they would take them for excursions, maybe a week or more. Mm-hmm. And they would allow these children to get outside of the neighborhood that they were in. One thing I know from watching those children is when you go somewhere else that's different from where you are, it makes you have hope. Since you want to use that word,
see, pick another word.
What you can do. or
Right.
or become.
We
But
see?
if you stay in that same element and you don't see anything besides that, that's all you know. That's
See?
all you know. And that's why I feel like it's important for the adults like myself, someone who has been outside of the country, someone who has traveled around, to let children know, like, if you get yourself into these situations, you won't be able to see the beautiful seas in Mexico, Puerto Rico, Jamaica.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Wherever you want to go.
I put up a topic a while back, maybe like a few weeks ago, talking about I want to be able to get to a point in my life where I don't need a vacation to
Right.
get me away from
Right.
the Matrix.
You just want to be able to do it.
I want my life to be the vacation.
Absolutely.
That's conscious.
Yes.
That's now. I understand if you living in an area where there's nothing but violence and. Do you know that? You ever heard of astroplaning?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna break it down in 2021, 2022. Yoga,
Right.
meditation. Excuse me. Don't get mad at me, y'all. I know there's a lot of prayer, dua, supplication, meditation. Y'all call them. Yeah, they got all kinds of phraseologies.
Right.
You know, they really truly do. Now, I ain't trying to be funny and say like the young man lost his life. If he did, he was at the dinner table and a bullet came through. I ain't saying like circumstances can happen.
Right.
But it's a reason why if Khadijah's not having a birthday party and she's just having a shaky butt down the street on Friday, oh, EA not coming. I'm not coming to party and BS.
No.
It's your born day party. It's your graduation party. You do your the 50th. Yeah, it could be your 51st, your 52nd birthday. I'm coming. You know that is important. You got to stay. Be careful where you spend your leisure time.
Absolutely, and that's a fact.
That could save your life. You know what I used to say joking
That's a fact.
a couple years ago? Young boys, if you want young girls too, if you want to survive this year, stay from in front of the poppy stores and the beer distributors.
Yeah, because you don't supposed to be in front of them anyway, because you're a kid.
That's where all the shenanigans
you
go
know what
down.
I mean?
I ain't trying to hate on no business owners.
But just think about it. You know, the reason why these kind of stores are so. First
they need
of all,
your dollar.
let me just say.
They need your money.
But this is the thing on some real stuff. We allow those stores to come in our neighborhood and open up shop. Us.
That mission been that mission been talked about for years.
I know,
Go ahead,
but
elaborate.
I'm just saying it's still at the end of the day, this is what we allow. We allow these kind of things to be in our community. We won't fight for a community center to be right there. Or
what you support it.
Because it's there. Like, this is the whole thing.
See?
No, but I'm gonna tell you something. Like, let me be honest with you. It's a poppy store on the corner.
I go in there sometimes.
Listen, it's a poppy store on the corner that around is right. I will not go. I refuse. Do you hear what I'm saying? To go in that store.
I already know what you're talking about.
I'm not going because he do foul stuff. The kids take people change. Think people don't know how to count. So I said, nah, I ain't going to patronize.
Something gonna happen in that, John.
I ain't going to patronize this person. You know what I'm saying? But it's there. Like, it's like those stores are able to set up shop there because the necessities that we really need in our community, like supermarkets real close.
I ain't mad at them about that. I'm mad at them about some of the, like, allowing the hangout in front of your store, knowing that what you think they out there doing? Petitioning a change gonna come? No, you know what they out there doing. And you allow it because they come by Black and Miles, Lucy's, and other stuff.
And
I ain't gonna say the underground
they
stuff.
They might allow it because they're taming the beast.
Well, no, it pays their rent.
This is what I'm saying. But listen,
they blood suckers.
If they
blood suckers.
They
ain't got nothing to do with Hispanic people.
No, they.
So we say poppy stores. We talking about those stores that are in our communities that blood suck off your own people too, because y'all in the Hispanic areas and blood suck them too. So if you doing illegal stuff, you blood sucking the community. You just as worse as the drug dealer. Some of the that's the thing. It's like when I lived in other areas,
it wasn't no stores on the corner.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
It was no stores. If you wanted something, you better go to the market, Walmart. But it wasn't no store around the corner. The bar had cigarette. Remember the old cigarette machine? That's where you had to get cigarettes from. You had to walk all the way a couple blocks to the bar and get it out the.
I want to say something. I think that this type crowd gonna be mad at me. And I'm talking about the crowd our age. Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna be mad at me, and I don't mean it in a way of what happened back then. We talking about what I think will work now. And I've been saying this, I used to say it in a joking way, but each day I think about it, I think it will work. And people got misconstrued when they was talking about defunding the policemen. They wasn't talking about taking cops off the streets. Mm-mm. Yes, we need more mission statement individuals on our streets. Yes, we do. But I agree to taking the budgets away from the POW centers and all that, which it was some districts getting millions of dollars. Or if it wasn't a district, I don't know what they call them. Like for POW centers and all that. When I was following the politics at the time when they were saying defund, mm-hmm. and no, they wasn't talking about the people on the street, the mission up, the people that was upholding the mission statement on the street. We talking about the money that was going to buildings that ain't facilitating the youth.
Like they sitting there closed. Now,
like the POW Center in Logan. Back in the day, I remember 11th and Loudon, back in the 80s, early 80s, I used to go there to play basketball. Mm-hmm. It was in a church. You used to be able to just go in there. The doors were open.
Right.
Simon's Playground.
Right.
The doors used to just be open. Hank Gather Center. The doors used to be open. I don't know of too many down South Philly.
I know Pooh Richardson had opened up one in the projects down past your homes, and they never really got to utilize it that much because they closed the projects down, and they was just sitting there.
But because of the violence. We get why, y'all. We get why. Trust me, we get why. Right. But what I'm saying is, let me go back to what I was saying, is that I think our people, our age, mm-hmm. going to be mad at me for saying this. Now, just take it as humor. Don't take it verbatim. The topic that I'm on, y'all know what topic I'm on. And I wish if y'all want to chime in, call us. Call our personal numbers. We could just put you right on the speaker on the cell phone if you want to. If you disagree with this. If we can, y'all going to be mad at me.
You ain't saying that.
Because I don't want to say it. If we can go back to the days where this is not a good, he wasn't a good mayor.
Who?
Wait, because you're going to get it. But it was at the time where I was a teenager. Or I was a young guy. I can't remember how old I was. But if you do the age demographics, when he was a mayor, it'll give it all out.
Give it an R.
So they didn't tolerate soliciting mm-hmm. or hanging on the street. Mm-hmm. No corners,
right.
None of that. And they came around. See, this what started a little bit of the cops being slimy. The griminess, doing stuff they wasn't supposed to do. The stuff that reason why we say, no, we don't need y'all.
Right.
We ain't talking about the good ones that's going to do the right thing, right. Ask you for your information correctly, and not pull you over talking about you got a brake light out.
Right. Right.
But we all been through that. But no, you know, because I have family members that's police officers, right, friends that's police officers, prison guards. I ain't against authority.
Right.
I'm not against authority. We need authority. Your grandmama and your daughter won't be safe without it.
Exactly.
What these rapists and everybody out here doing?
Yeah.
Honestly. Can you guess what mayor it was at the time where?
Yeah, I can guess.
Who?
Rizzo.
Yup. Yup. You hit it on the news. Yup. And I know some brothers that be like, EA, you out of pocket. It's my opinion. All right, what would you rather have? These 500 murders, 502, 3, 4, 5 murders, or clean up the streets, get everybody off the streets for a little while so it won't be no murders. I'd rather have that. And I know where it come from. I know where it come from us. It ain't guns that's killing us. It's us killing us.
Absolutely.
So if we could just clean up the streets for a little while, I swear I used to love when it's thundering and lightning outside. Or when it's 9 inches of snow outside because you ninja warriors ain't going to be outside. Yeah. And you ninjas warriors can be white, black, Hispanic, Asian,
yeah,
Russian.
With the BS.
Yeah. And I don't, because we all sick of it. Ain't nobody, we all sick, because it's annoying.
Because you know why? Because you know what it is? You know what it is? When you come, like, when you're at home somewhere where you pay your mortgage or your rent, you want to feel like you're safe. You don't want to feel like you sitting on your couch and a bullet might fly through your front window because of some action that's going on where you pay your money to live. You should be able to live and be safe.
I remember when we was to sit on somebody's steps, they used to come outside and pour bleach water on the steps.
Absolutely. Put cleanser and shit.
I'm telling you,
lie.
to prevent you from sitting on their steps. And we never got offended or drawn or making them feel like they can't say, get off my property.
Yeah.
You got young boys running around here taking cars. Like.
Yeah. Got the old people scared.
And they 16, 17, 18, 15 years old. Where if they homeless and they living with their friends, all right, I can see them being slick. But a lot of them are still living with their parents. And y'all watching them running in and out of the house. You know they don't have no damn job. You know they don't have an LLC where they hanging sheetrock. Or they ain't doing Uber or Lyft. They don't have a job. They don't even, they all right, I ain't gonna grind up their mental. Young boys, parents first. Let me stay on the parents. You know what they doing.
Yeah.
Especially if you let them live in their basement and they ain't paying the cable bill. Because the cable bill is high as the mortgage nowadays.
The cable bill is the highest bill in the damn house.
I gotta just say this. And for my young men, don't throw y'all lives away, man. Young sisters, don't throw y'all lives away because the women is bad. I got a call. EA, we need to go to Martin Luther King. All right, I'm with it. I'm always got my feet on the ground. Let's go. What can I do? We need to get some chaperones and different people to come in King. Now we waiting for the principal and them to get back with us so that we can see how we can get some people that want to volunteer that went to Martin Luther King. One of the young ladies who was a friend of mine's, John Diarell. He said, no, say my name. His niece got caught in the hall suite. And the principal must have been saying something to her. And she told the principal she's a dick eater. I wanted to cry so bad in my heart because that's a young lady. A young lady, please, gentlemen, fathers, tell your daughters how pretty they are. Buy them flowers. Buy them roses. Let them know that it's okay to be feminine.
Yes.
This ain't got nothing to do with if they decide to, to be on the other side. I ain't judging nobody.
But they women. At the end of the day,
they're women.
They are
it's
women.
our job to tell them, you look pretty, you look nice. Help them get their nails done. You know what? One day go get a pedicure and a manicure with your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for it. Let them know that beauty is everything because that helps our women. You know what I'm saying? Some women go through it. If a man say they ain't cute, they go through it. Women, our young men, we need love. And we need love from our mothers. Don't blame the fathers yet. I'm on them next. We leave. Now that I don't have a mother, I don't have a father, I went through a divorce after 18 years. My daughter is like everything to me. So I'm so conscious of what can hurt her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's important to her.
Right.
I don't want to spoil her, but we spoiled her. Because I wanted her to know that a man that earns is supposed to have income. And always ask, where are you getting your income from? Don't go for the game that the young women were younger than me saying they own houses. They got properties. If they got properties, they should be at least putting on construction gear, going to one of those properties, picking up a brush sometime. Or at least going to them some. Don't go for that game. Don't go for that.
Yeah.
Be wise. Make a wise selection. Don't drive around with them in the car knowing that they get busy in the street.
Wow.
Especially if they got 10 on their cars. If they got 10 on their cars and they dealers and they in the street, don't ride around with them. Don't have your kids in the car with them. I don't care how mad they going to get with me. I don't care. Because your life is more important. Because the guys nowadays, they think it's hip to shoot anybody that's involved with that person that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Let me educate you.
Yeah.
It ain't no more that Scarface movie, no women, no kids. That ain't what they saying. You a op. You an enemy if you hanging around with the enemy that they're enemies with.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have nothing to do with it. And no, stop, y'all old people like my age, stop saying and I ain't even getting money. So if they was getting money, it's okay to be violent? So if it was about money, it's okay to be killing each other? No, it's not.
That's the attitude that got them in the position that they in.
Y'all
right
watch
now.
burglaries turn into home invasions.
Yeah.
That's the most violated feeling in the world. So please salute one another, give love to one another. Sisters, give love to the men. Don't be this self-centered soul because you were blessed to be able to be by yourself, so you have more knowledge of self than us brothers. Sisters, I'm telling you, that's one of the traits that y'all have that's thorough. After you get through a bad relationship, you do get that knowledge of self fast. You automatically go into this gear mode of, I don't need nobody, I want to be by myself. Teach that young man that same, don't neglect the love. And watch that. If you neglect the love from your husband or your significant other, your son is watching. Give him love. It ain't the same kind of love, but the feeling is the same. The emotion is the same.
Yeah.
You're just not intimate.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get that game up because I love to come on the show because I never get a chance to talk about the things that I have empirical knowledge of, experience.
Right.
I'm 52 years old. I'll be 53 years old, and I want to be able to give some of the experience that I have learned, coming from being a drug dealer, coming from being a person that hung with people that got allegedly convicted of bad things. You know what I'm saying? Helping tear down a community. Now, for 24 years straight, from November 98, and I always get the math messed up, I have been an abiding citizen to my community and to my people and to the environment. I'm a general manager. I make six figures. I make over $100,000 a year working. Right now, I'm a little short this year because the businesses is messed up. I'm being all the way honest. I don't sell no drugs. Everything you see I wear, I earn from working for it. Whether I decide to take a rapper or a dancer or a book illustrator and help get their name out there and be compensated for it.
Right.
I don't want you to look at me like I am a drug dealer. I am not a drug dealer. Eric Allen, a.k.a. EA, will never sell his soul ever again. Ever again.
And that's what those ninth graders at Vox need to hear.
Yeah.
Because it's okay that it's better.
And I still shine like I'm in the street.
See, the thing is, you are the person that we're going to use your word hope. That can give hope to young men. Because why? Because you've been there.
Like Wallow.
You did it. I love
Came
her.
home from jail.
Wallow. I
25, 6 years.
Yes.
So what? Gil had it popping.
Yes.
And gave and extended the hand out. But it was Wallow that implemented the positivity.
How you doing?
He could have came out here and got straight buck wild.
Absolutely.
It's choice. You got a choice to make. Make the right choice.
Yeah.
Make the right choice. That one choice can end your whole life.
Or it could put you in jail for the rest of your life. It only take 3 minutes to do something dumb. Less than that. It could take 30 seconds.
Let me ask you a question. Act like you in jail. No, I can't. Rephrase that. Excuse me. I had a brother that told me that he was already there for 20-something years when I went there, and I left him 98. He's still there. He said, and he was a Muslim brother. He said, he said, how it helps me with this life sentence on my belt? Because I know if I go out in the world, I'm going to die a sinner. I'd rather die in jail a believer than to go in the streets and die as a sinner.
Wow.
That was the most powerful phraseology that somebody can ever give me.
Yeah.
That was coping with his circumstance.
That's how he was coping with it.
Because he knew he was a menace to his society, and the minute he go out, recidivism would have been in effect, going back to jail, or either going or being buried.
Yeah.
How many people can say that?
Yeah. That's just keeping it real, though.
You got to keep it real with yourself.
Because this is the thing. He was in there. He accepted what he did. Because first you got to accept what you did. You know what I'm saying?
Just like an addiction.
If you don't accept what you did, then you're not even going to be able to a place where you can be at peace. Because you got to accept what you did so you can forgive your own self for the things that you do. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was the way he coped with it. But there's so many people who still don't cope with it like that.
You know why? Because they keep hope. But at some part in hope, like your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, the reason why you have to have short-term and mid-term goals, because of the manifestation of whatever the goal is, does something to your state of consciousness to give you more willpower to move on.
Absolutely.
It develops the hope even more. Whatever words you want to pick, because there's some very educated people in the world that can phrase it a little bit more better than the way. But, like, let me ask you a question, and I want to ask Dawn, and I want to ask y'all, because I love y'all. I wasn't going to wear a suit. I wasn't going to get suited and booted, because I believe that if you look like the children, smell like the children, look like the children, they can relate to you a lot more.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I'm putting on Dolce & Gabbana, Balenciaga, Gucci. Yeah.
You know, the other EA, not you, but the other EA, right?
Yeah.
That's what I respect about him. He wears his cap, his T-shirt. You never see him in a suit. He preach, but you never see him with the collar. Mm-hmm. That's who he is.
Right.
And he said, I don't want to come out there wearing this and that because this is who I am.
Right.
I like to wear my T-shirts.
See, but
he's still giving up that work.
But it's important. Like, if I was going to a lecture of smart-minded people,
yes,
I will get suited and booted.
It's your environment.
Now, why would I change? Right.
It's your environment.
Because the mindset.
Yes.
The mindset of the people already said it.
Yes.
They're smart, educated people. They're there to be educated. They're there to absorb information that you're going to give them.
Right.
I could talk about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the laws that govern what you can do and what you can't do in a person's credit report.
Right.
I could talk about the TCPA, the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, like things that we're going through right now. And if you knew the law, you'd be able to know how to fight it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell you about a DSO in sales, daily sales operation, if you're a business owner. What's a P&L, profit and loss?
Right.
You know, ROI, return on investment. These are things that young people need to be taught.
Yes.
We were never, ever given the opportunity to have information about an LLC.
Nope.
We didn't need no PUAs and all them to come out.
And you know what, too? I can remember coming up, too. People were so in the mind frame of when I was coming up.
Right.
Go to school, get a good job, and
that's it.
They ain't never say.
And you get a job at the post office.
I've rarely ever heard anybody say, when you go to school and try to go get your own business. And a lot of times, I know for a fact that people have tried to talk me out of things.
To get you your own business.
But this is what I understood. This is what I understand about those people in those times. Mm-hmm. They wasn't that far from Jim Crow.
They were just leaving out of that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they just coming out of Jim Crow or
their mindset wasn't
our grandparent. Their thing was be safe.
That's it.
It was all about they wasn't trying to kill you. They wasn't trying to kill your dreams.
They wasn't.
They was really just trying to, in their minds, keep you safe. If you just go to work and make your money and come home, you'll be good. Now you go out there and you start knocking on people's doors, selling some insurance and something like that. Might be a problem. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So they wasn't trying to kill your dream. They thought that was the best thing to do because that's what they understood.
That's what they were taught.
Exactly. I don't want to teach my grandkids that because first of all, I hate working for people. I know sometimes you gotta work for people. Because you know why? Because when I want to take off and go to Puerto Rico, I do not want to have to put 2 weeks in. I do not want to have to be on your time.
Well, you should do that if you owned your own business. If you were a shareholder in your business and you worked for your business, you would just take off and leave and abandon your business knowing that's a bad principle of work ethics? Let me tell you what I know.
This is what I know about a lot of people who work from home. They take their business with them. Here go my business right
But we're not talking about working from home. We're talking about working for someone besides yourself.
No, but I'm saying is if you have your own business, that's the opportunity that you have. This could be my job. This is it.
But that's still that. See, I don't like that.
Listen, I gotta
because people mindset nowadays, and we gotta be current to current events. They're lazy. No, the world is lazy right now.
Listen,
you got McDonald's. Somebody give you $18 an hour.
If you're going,
nobody want to work.
If you're going to start your own business, then people who start businesses, they can't afford to be lazy. That's the whole thing. Like, they got to go to credit because you know why? You ain't guaranteed that check next week.
That's true.
You ain't guaranteed that security. So if you want to do this, then that means that you got to put that work in or you're not going to get paid.
Let me tell you why I disagreed real quick. No matter if you work for yourself or work for someone else, you're still working.
Absolutely.
So the hours can be dictated through what? The hiring process. Mm-hmm. So do not shoot yourself in the foot, young man, young lady, by saying you do not want to work for a person. Because the first thing that you need to survive in any type of business, whether it's an INC, an LLC, or working for someone, a W-2, whether you do a profit or loss or a W-2,
but
it's have capital. Capital. You need money.
This is my thing. I would suggest that any young person, whether they started their business, should work for someone else.
So
this is what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I have worked for people my whole life. I'm 51 years old. I don't want to work for nobody no more.
No, I get it.
You understand what I'm saying?
But what did you learn from working for people?
One thing I learned was discipline.
What else?
I learned to be on time.
Tardiness. What else?
I learned let me see. Teamwork.
What else? Make money. What else?
Of course you make money. And I learned
that you can be insured.
Yes.
Benefits.
Insurance, benefits.
What else? It'll teach you something that you wasn't taught far as a financial aspect, like 401k.
Exactly.
IRA. No matter what you educated financial people with those backgrounds, leave us alone. We're just giving basic understanding of how you gain capital.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I was told when I first came home from jail in 98, the first job I had was U-Haul. I said there was no way in the world I'm not going to take a $5 an hour job when I was just up there mopping blocks for 18 cents.
Right.
That's $38 a month.
Right.
Then when I got on the 2MC crew, I was making 53 cents. That's $85 a month. I remembered to be exact because I was sending $50 home for the phone bill.
Right.
I said, there's no way in the United States of America and any other country that I'm going to come home and not take that $5 an hour. Because for 5.5 years, I just got 18 cents an hour.
Right.
I don't care what you want to call it. And I put myself there.
But see, this is the thing. You have that choice.
But let me say this. So the choice was, I was first selling oils and all that. You know how the Muslims back then, we had oils, barrettes. We was the movers and shakers. I was selling barrettes and all that before 52nd Street. Real rap. So it taught me the hustle that I had in me that the drug game gave me. No, my mother gave me the hustle. She used to give me a note because she didn't have money. And I used to go down to the corner store, the little Jewish man with a note. And on the note, they used to say, can I get a pound of cheese, a pound of turkey, and a loaf of bread, a bag of Bonton chips, a Pepsi soda. And I used to always ask my mom, can I get a Snicker? She used to say yes. So, and I did that at least 3 times a month. Mm-hmm. That taught me something. That taught me to take a note. Don't be afraid to say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
And then I used to see this little notebook. They used to keep my mom's name in there. Mm-hmm. And she used to give me the money to take it to him. He used to scratch her name off. So that was teaching me profit and loss without even knowing it.
Yeah.
So, young boys, the reason why you work with somebody, the people that's been educated, like if you could get a chance to work in large corporations, I would say denounce. Because even if you work for Heinz Ketchup, there's some of the clients that we deal with. Fortune 1,500 companies, Fortune 100 and 500, meaning that their annual salary, the annual income is like 52 billion, 10 billion. I represent companies like that. I see their ARs. I see the delinquents. I see their profit and loss. I see what they're making. It took me back when I used to take the note to the store. Okay, Heinz Ketchup. Goya. I'm going to use Goya products, one of our clients. Goya, 19,000 poppy stores owe you a combination of $2 million. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is like that note.
Right.
So the AR says that they're delinquent. You ain't scratched their name off. You put a highlight on their name because they owe you.
I ain't give my money yet.
It all looks the same.
Right.
So we have to teach them. That's the only universities we have that teach us finance. Until we get, which we used to have a black bank down there, Temple. Right. I don't know if it's still there. We need institutions that teach accounting, that teach profit and loss, that teach our young men how to. This is some of the stuff I'm going over. How to fill out an application. Well, not in 9th grade because they ain't failed yet. But for the ones that's 17, 18, 19 and above, you're trying to get a job, call me. I'll tell you how to sit down. I'll tell you how to put on a tie. I forgot how to tie a tie, but some of the older guys can teach you how to tie a tie. What I would like to do is take you, I'll buy you your first suit. If you're going to wear it to an interview, I promise you, you'll make you feel better. I'll get you a haircut. I'll teach you how to do an interview. I tell you how to duck the question or to answer the question professionally when they ask you, were you convicted of a felon? You say yes. You do not lie. And you put will explain during interview. Now companies got hip. They're not alone. They'll ask you. They say, have you been convicted of a felony in the last 10 years? Some of them say minor offense, felony, or any police infraction.
Misdemeanor.
But yes, I have. And then say, I can tell you what to say. I do interviews. I interview people. I interview people with degrees, went to Penn State, got masters and bachelors. I interview people with no history experience. And the first thing I say to them is this: listen, do you really want to work? Where do you see yourself at in the next 6 months? If they can't answer it, we have no topic of discussion. I don't want to hire you. And the people I love to hire is the people with children. If you say to me, young lady, and I'm saying this, I don't discriminate like this, but just if you say to me, young lady, I got a kid and I got a daycare, they are the best hustlers in the world. Mothers with children that gotta go to daycare. Trust me, because that's where you want to learn from. Young man, get a girl. If your baby mom got a baby, learn from her. She could teach you something. Learn from her. She could teach you something. They ain't hating on you. You just got to learn to stop trying to have sex with every bad female in the world. Get your priorities in order. And then you'll be successful.
And the thing is, we had those schools because I went to Bach. And I had to count to Bach. Go to Bach and be okay.
Well. But we talking about like OIC. I heard is still around, but they don't be promoted like how when we was coming up.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even. This is the thing. This is the thing that from our generation to this generation now. First of all, we buy about 6 schools in Philly. I'm just being. But we're like on some real stuff though. Where are the schools in our communities?
Now you may disagree with me, but I think this administration is going to do better for the schools.
This is my thing.
That's my opinion.
They might do
based
better.
off what I be seeing them talk about. Now talk is cheap. We all talk.
This is what I'm saying.
Y'all got a nerve to be judging people and all the talking y'all doing.
This is what I'm saying. When is the last time you heard Philadelphia open a new public school?
They don't have well, they was charter schools.
No.
They were charter schools.
I'm not talking about charter schools. I'm talking about the money that the taxpayers in Philadelphia pay. Even though some of their money might go to charter, but the taxpayers pay for public schools. Where are the public schools? They're turning them into condominiums.
That's true.
We ain't got no schools. In South Philly, where I lived at, they got one elementary around there, McDaniel.
Wow.
That's the only school in that whole area.
No, it's one.
No. The rest of them is all charter schools.
Oh, wow.
All of them.
Look how many high schools closed in Philadelphia. Germantown.
Exactly.
Franklin or Penn, they both closed.
Yes. They done tore them down.
Wow.
Well, Ben Franklin's still open. Is Ben Franklin still open?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Haven't even heard anything about Ben Franklin in so long. But Penn is gone.
And now they talking about Martin Luther King. The teachers are saying we losing the school. That's bad. That's bad.
And you don't. First of all, when I was in high school, I wanted to go to school. That was the difference. I loved going to school. It was fun to me. We had shops. We had things. When we went to school, we wasn't just going to school to do math and English. We had shop. We had plumbing. We had carpentry. We had cosmetology, business, cooking, sewing, whatever you wanted. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We had something to push us in the mind of a career. You understand what you want to do? Nursing. You got your CNA in high school. They don't have a lot of that in our schools, not in our area. But upstate PA, those public schools have those things. They have those
You
things.
ever been in a Jersey? Oh, my goodness.
Jersey
They
has a
school
good
like colleges.
Jersey has a very good school
They got
district.
one of the best school districts
Yes.
in the country.
Yes, they do.
That's what made me move
But
over
Pennsylvania
there.
got some pretty good school districts too.
No, they do, but you got to
But
live
not-
in Montgomery
exact-
County.
or some not in this county.
Not Philadelphia County. No, we do have Masterman. No, we do got Central.
But this is the thing.
Ain't Girls High still open?
Yeah, but see, this is
Spelman.
Let me
still
explain
school?
something to you. One thing I disagree with schools, with those kind of schools is, those kind of schools don't give everybody the opportunity.
That's true.
They don't give everybody. You have to already be at the top of the class. How do you know that a child that's not at the top of the class right now don't have the potential to be? Because you're never putting him in that environment. You never put them in that environment to say, oh, they can do greater. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem. I don't like all that. All children deserve to have the chance to have the best education.
Remember special ed?
Yes.
I was in one of those type classes.
But let me tell you something about special ed in the city and special ed outside the city. Mm-hmm. My son was in special education in the city, right?
I just want to see what curriculum they base it off now.
So this is what they did. They put them in.
They said I was a class clown. I needed a little smaller environment because I made people laugh.
That's not.
And I was an all-age student.
That's not special ed though. That's not wanting to be taught. Deal with you.
Because I shared that recently a lot.
That's not. You didn't
because
need to,
it impacted me a little bit.
But they didn't want to deal with you.
That's true.
You didn't need to be there. You wasn't there because.
That's crazy.
A lot of these. Let me tell you. A lot of these kids that's in special education. That doesn't necessarily mean that they belong there. They might be hyper. They put them there.
Look at
just
me.
because a kid is hyper,
Look at me.
Just because a kid is hyper don't mean they ain't smart.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But this is the problem with special education. They give special education a lot of money that they don't give the regular students.
Oh.
Almost double.
So you mean they got a check for me? Because I did ride the little yellow bus.
So if you got a school, right?
I had the window seat too. Sorry.
If you got a school,
go ahead.
and you know you're going to get a lot of money from special ed, what you going to do?
I understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like convictions with bad DAs.
They should give all the kids money across the board. If you're going to give a certain amount for special ed, the other kids should deserve to get that amount too.
Do you think that the kids should be paid to go to school?
No.
What if they did start that? What if it was a budget that was implemented where
I
kids
feel
can
like
get paid to go to school?
No, I feel like you can give them incentive, but I don't feel like you should have to pay them to go to school.
No, I'm just saying after you graduate, you get
a scholarship.
Yeah, free education.
I believe that.
But everybody was denying that free education. I thought that was a dope idea.
In European countries, they get free medical coverage, free college.
In Cuba, they got free insurance. They've been at it.
So why we can't do that? This is supposed to be the greatest country on earth. The greatest. No, this is
that's because the 1% bulls want to keep the money, and they just want to keep it because they want generational wealth, and they just want to pass it down. But now we got the information.
Right.
When we stop the violence part, then we can start winning.
Well, kids will stop the violence when you find something else for them to do.
They need hope. To go back to the hope.
They need to know. They need to know.
There's no hope in our areas. Broad Street, I see a little hope. I like the lights. That look nice.
But they need to know that they can.
That look nice. But did y'all just do that for that university?
Yeah.
How much money got put into those lights that look so beautiful on Broad Street where you could have put that on blocks?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You could have started. Like, are you serious? You see how Fishtown is being built up?
Yeah.
When Fishtown was one of the worst areas to live in Philadelphia, K&A just 3 years ago, the National Geographic has categorized that K&A was one of the worst places to live in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. But if you go 5 blocks down the street, some of them buildings is immaculate.
Yep, they about to start taking over that. You know they on their way. But this is what I'm saying. This is this. Take that for instance. You got all this gentrification in the city. That's jobs.
It is.
That's
I'm
jobs.
mad at the gentrification.
No,
though.
This is what I'm.
Are you mad at that part though?
I'm not. Let me just say this.
Disenchanted.
It's
you could say,
the thing about this is what I don't like about it. It's not for everyone. Fix the city up. Make the houses look nice. But it should be for everyone who can afford. And they are redlining. because you can just look and see
Yeah,
who's
they
living there. They're redlining.
Now let me ask you a question real quick, because I know because it's important. It's coincide, and I think that anybody want to talk about this topic, go to her page and get with us later on this, because this is heavy. People be like denouncing the government all the time. I hear that so much, and when I hear it, I be like, damn, I don't feel that way. And I ain't saying in every aspect. Yeah, everybody got good and bad. So do you. So do you. So do you individually. Let me back up, because I want to be loud. So do you. The people that run it, yes, they're human beings like you and I. So do y'all. Y'all all. But look how they lowered the interest rates. I'm trying to buy a house after the leave. I've been looking for 2 years. Because it's so hard. It's a seller's market.
Yeah.
Because they lowered the interest rates. Mm-hmm. They need to rebuild. I mean, I ain't saying I agree with every thought process.
Right.
But work for somebody or work for yourself. Build your own. Mm-hmm. Then that way you can have your own building. You can set your own rules.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to abide by it. You can wake up as you want.
Yeah.
But let me just say this. If I own Amazon, or if I own any kind of company and I didn't work for someone, I will still get up at 5-something in the morning, not just because of prayer. I still will get up early every day. I will not get relaxed. And I thank God for my grandma making everybody get up, watch the woodworks on Saturdays. And on the weekdays, she used to make my cousins get out the house and say, go outside and come back and act like you got a job.
Right.
It taught me something.
Yeah.
It taught me something.
Yeah, because you ain't going to sit up in here all day.
You ain't going to sit up in here.
You ain't going to sit up in here.
And y'all kids is privileged. We got washers and dryers.
Yeah.
When we used to wash our clothes in the wash tub with a washing board.
We used to have to drag the shop
with the washing board. Are you kidding me?
To the laundromat.
We never had heat, never had electric. We had hot plates. Me and my cousin used to heat the hot water up on a big hot plate.
Yeah.
Imagine 13 of us in one house.
I remember that.
That's why my motivation is to the third power, and ain't nobody gonna ever get me to want to sell drugs again and do anything that throw rocks to the penitentiary except protecting me and my family and whoever I'm around at the time where I may have to defend myself.
Absolutely.
But I'm never gonna harm my brother, my sister, your child, your niece, your nephew, or your cousin. And I condone the same thing for you and I. Thank you, WillPower, for allowing me.
Absolutely.
I know you want your last 4 minutes. I'm just going to sit back and say thank y'all so much. I want to say a prayer to everybody, something that I say. We call it whatever you want. I wish the best for you and your family. I say this to my clients when I hang up. I wish the best for you and your families. COVID is real, and all the other divisions of COVID. The flu is real, way before we heard about all these diseases. A young man, a drunk driver, is real. That young boy that may be walking down the street with that hood on, that mask on, watch him. Look both ways before you cross the street.
Absolutely. Thank you, E. You know I love when you come on the show. But this is what you can give those young men tomorrow when we go to Volks. Those ninth graders need to know that there are people out there that love them. And I love all the youth. Y'all might get on my nerves sometimes, but I love the kids. Like Marley Marl. Marley Marl love the kids. You know what I'm saying? But it is true. They are our future. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to be no old lady with some of these kids having to take care of me.
Oh, my God.
They need to get it together because I just can't see it. I can't even see them right now the way some of our youth are. I can't even see them in the mind
I wish
frame.
I had $100 million. I would go there tomorrow and give each kid $1,000, every kid, and go to every school and do the same thing. I swear to God, on my mother's grave, I dream about one day just taking the community and just taking everybody, whatever helps them, pay their bills, go shopping. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, before I die, please let me just accomplish one of those dreams. Not to put in my pocket, have a little bit of it.
Right. To help.
But I just want to see the state of felicity on their face or to know, for me, that I helped them.
Yeah. I think, too, when you give them that $1,000, tell them what they could do with it.
Get an LLC.
Absolutely.
Go get some shirts and T-shirts and whatever it is you want to do. Hey, young man, you don't got to get 10,000 pounds of weed. Get 10,000 bottles of dishwashing liquid. Sell it for $1 a piece. That's a hustler.
That's what
Go
it
get
is.
10,000 vials of Colgate toothpaste. Everybody brush their teeth. Sell them for $1. You might can go find them for 50-cent wholesale. That's a hustler. Go get some shampoo, deodorant. That's a hustler. What happened to the guys that used to walk right around selling berets? I mean, braids. That's a hustler. You ain't got to sell perks. You ain't got to sell weed. You ain't got to sell no drugs. You can sell candles. You can sell whatever. You can sell lighters.
Listen.
You can go get them for 30 cents a piece and sell them for $1. That's 70 cents. That's more than a 60% markup.
Listen, the first thing they gotta know is it ain't corny. Forget what
they
you
corny.
say. For real. And that's right. It ain't corny. Cause see, that's what's wrong with a lot of these kids. They think everything is corny or somebody's gonna laugh at them. Getting your hustle on and making that.
Say they don't want to be the bid.
Making that honest. Be the bid.
Be the bid.
Be the bid and get that money.
Fran said, I want for my kids. They asked him, what do you want your kids to be when they grow up? Fran said, I just want my kids to be the best nerds they can be.
Absolutely.
And I was shocked he said it, but it was the most powerful statement from a young man.
For real. And I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to WillPower UnSurfaced. I'll see you next week.
The best show in the land.
And welcome and stay tuned for Tunnel Bangers. Thank you.
And you rocking with the Glockenware radio show, you feel me?